Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian turned book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today, I get to share with you this book called Childish Things. It's the second in the Parker Sisters series by Thelonious Legend. This story continues a couple months after the first book leaves off, so we're getting ready for the next school year, and the Parker sisters, Eve, Gwen, and Anna, are moving into the next phase of their lives. And for Eve, that means going to high school while the other two are still in middle school. Now, they're still managing to figure out how their special abilities work and what that means for them, especially with regard to some nefarious characters who are coming after them. And they're still trying to figure out who this mysterious David is and if there's anything he can do to help them out. So using their special speed, strength, and brains, they are able to figure out a lot of problems that come along with their adventures and try and be normal kids at the same time. So there's a lot in this story about superheroes, but also the real people behind them. And school is not easy for anybody, especially when you have powers like this that you can't really talk about. So it's lucky that these girls have each other, and they meet a couple of other friends along the way who are in a similar situation. So their teamwork and camaraderie are growing a little bit. What's interesting is that this book does have a little bit more of the adult side of things. So there's a scene with the dad at his office, which isn't in the first book. And also this is designed slightly differently from the first one as well. So neither one has page numbers, which is interesting. So it kind of keeps you going with the story without having a sense of exactly when it's going to be over. So it keeps you more focused on the story itself as opposed to the length of it. This one does not have as much white space as the first book, but as the characters are growing up, so too would the readers be. So as you're getting more into the young adult side of the literature, that's where this comes into play. So just like the first book, each character has really strong speaking style, and each one is a bit different, so you're able to tell who they are, even if it's not mentioned specifically. There's a lot of dialogue in this book, so a lot of the action takes place in those interactions between the different characters, which is really fun to see. And then the action sequences feature a lot of mixed martial arts and specifics that go along with that as well. So they're really entertaining and engaging as these girls are getting stronger and more self-sufficient in their skills. So just like the first book, this one spans about a whole school year, and during that time, the girls are figuring out more about themselves. There's a little bit of romance worked into, and just the relationships in general between them, their classmates, and their family come into play more in this story than they did in the first one. So if you like the first book in the Parker Sisters series, and this sounds like a good fit for you, and you're into some of that more science fiction in connecting with the real people behind the characters, this is a really great series for you, and I hope you look for it at your favorite bookstore.